that you love me, 'cause I already know. What would you do?
Hi, and welcome at yourguitarworkshop.com. I'm super excited about about today's lesson. My previous lesson, which was Hotel California, was one that I wanted to do for a long time. And today's lesson, More Than Words, is one that I've wanted to do for a long time as well. Good to know is that everything is online today. So even though this is part one, all the other parts are online already. It's just on the website. So I will be releasing them on YouTube in the coming weeks. But you can already have full access to the full tutorial on my website. So that is good to know. Also, the tablature is already online. Note that for the tablature, you need a free membership on my website. So if you don't have that already, just go to the website, sign up. The tutorial, what I did is I divided the song up into sections, which is of course verse, chorus, outro, that kind of stuff. And the sections I'll be mentioning in the videos correspond with the section indications on your tablature if you go to the website. So that's good to know. There's also a full cover online right now. Me playing together with Rob Lundgren, an amazing vocalist. Really, he has a great YouTube channel with tons of great vocals. It's more metal oriented, though he has done some other stuff as well. It's just, you have to check it out. The first time I heard him sing, I was really blown away. And because I'm starting this new format now, doing collaborations and doing full covers, I was really hoping to get him on board on this. And we both wanted to do More Than Words. It's something that he's been thinking of for a long time as well. So I am super stoked that he's going to be doing the vocals on this tune. So very happy about that. All right, so let's get on with the tutorial. More Than Words. Today is going to be intro, verse, and if you want to see the rest, as I mentioned, you can go to the website and you'll have full access there. So let's get started. You start off with playing the low E with your thumb, and then you play the top four strings, so E, G, B, and D, E, B, G, and D, with your index finger, with an upstroke. It's like this. Followed by a slap of your thumb on the string, so like this. Then you pluck the strings with thumb, index, and middle finger on A, G, and B string, followed by an upstroke with your index finger on the top four, followed by a slap. So like this, 3, 4. Then you move on to the C at 9. You pluck A, G, and B string with thumb, index, and middle finger, and then followed by an upstroke with your index finger on the top 4, followed by a slap. So from the start, that would be starting on that G chord, 3, 4. Then you play just the A string with your thumb. You make it short, so it's sort of staccato. And then you pluck A, B, and E string. Also staccato, so short, so you just squeeze and then relax your fingers. And then you play or pluck A, G, and B string with thumb, index, and middle finger. It's like this, followed by a slap. So those 2 bars, 3, 4. Then in the next bar, you go to, well, actually, we're in the pickup towards the next bar. Go to A minor 7, and you pluck A, G, and B string with thumb, index, and middle finger. Then upstroke on the top 4 with your index finger, followed by a slap, like. And then you get that same pattern that we played on the C at 9, where we played this. We're going to be doing the exact same thing, only now on the A minor 7 with the added pinky on 3rd position of the high E. There, so we play bass, then plucking bass and top 2, and then bass and G and B, like this, followed by a slap. So until there, 3, 4. Then we move on to C, and you pluck A, G, and B string with thumb, index, and middle. Then an upstroke on the top 4 with your index finger, followed by a slap. Then you play or pluck the D chord, and you pluck D, B, and high E. Then you play G string with your thumb, and then you make an upstroke with your index finger on the top 4, while fretting with your pinky 3rd position of the high E. So there you get a D sus4, followed by a slap. So like this, starting on that C, 3, 4. And starting from the beginning, 3, 4. All right, so now you get pretty much the exact same thing. So you pretty much repeat from here, with the difference is that in the beginning of the intro, we started on the beat with the bass note, followed by that upstroke. But we're using a pickup now. So in the 4th bar, we already play that G chord. So we pluck low E, G, and B string together. Then we don't play anything on the first beat of the 5th bar. And then we have that upstroke with your index finger on the 1 and. It's like this, 3, 4. And then the rest is the same. So 3, 4. And then every time you repeat these 4 bars, you don't start on the beat on each repeat, but you have that pickup on the 4 and, right? So let's try to play these 8 bars together. So the full intro, 1, 2, 3, 4. etc. So this is where the verse section comes in. The verse section is exactly the same as the intro, provided that you don't start with that bass note on the 1. So you start the chord already in the 8th bar of the intro section. So on the 4 end, you already start that chord, which is the same transition as going from bar 4 to bar 5. So the first section is exactly the same, with the exception of the last bar. So bar number 8 bar number 8 of the verse, which is the second repeat, is where the change comes. And that's simply just because on the 4 end, instead of playing that G chord, you play E minor going into the verse ending. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest is the same. Repeat. And here, instead of playing that G chord again, we play E minor, because that E minor is the first chord of the verse ending. Which brings us to section number 3, which is verse ending. Let me play the first 4 bars of the verse ending for you, and then we'll get into how to play that on the guitar. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what do we play? You start on the 4 end of the previous bar, and there you play E minor. And I pluck low E, B, and high E with thumb, index, and middle finger. Then I make an upstroke with my index finger on the top 4, and then a slap, like this. Then I pluck A, G, and B string with thumb, index, and middle finger. And then I play that upstroke again on the top 4. And a slap, like this. 3, 4. Then I switch to A minor 7. I pluck A, G, and B string. Then upstroke with my index finger. And a slap, like this. Then I get that we also play in, I believe it's bar number 3 of the intro. Right? So let's try to play that from the start of the verse ending. So 3, 4. Then you play A bass with your thumb. And then you play D7 and you pluck D, B, and high E. You slap once more, and then you make an upstroke with your index finger on the top 4, followed by a slap, like this. Once more, 3, 4. Then, all on the offbeat, so starting on the 4 end of that bar, you play G, plucking low E, B, and high E. And the plucking is, by the way, always with thumb, index finger, and middle finger, never with other fingers. So always thumb, index, and middle. You play it short, so this is the G. And then you play low E, G, and B string. Then switch to D with F sharp in the bass. Play it twice. And then going to E minor. So starting on that 3rd bar of the verse ending. 3, 4. And now let's try to start playing from the verse ending, the beginning of the verse ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, let me play the next 4 bars for you. Goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so how do you play that? Bars number 5, 6, and 7 are pretty much the same as bars number 1, 2, and 3 of the verse ending, so of section 3, with the exception of the chord you play on the 4 end of bar number 7. So instead of playing that D7 to G, like this, you go to G7. Right? So you play 3, 4. So you play that on the 4 end. So you pluck the strings, so E, B, and E, followed by an upstroke with your index finger on the top 4, slap, then you play A string, then another upstroke with your index finger, followed by a slap, and then playing C chord, plucking A, B, and E. So starting on that 4 end of the previous bar, 3, 4. Then you play another upstroke with your index finger. Then you make a slap. Then you play the bass, so A string, short. Then you pluck A, B, and E, also short. Then you pluck A, G, and B. It's like this. Followed by a slap. So starting on that D7, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to the next bars. I'll play the last part of the verse ending, which is pretty much 6 bars. The first one of those we already did, starting on that C chord. And let me play that for you, and then we'll get into how to play that on the guitar. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what do you play? So the first bar of that part we already did, so that's that C chord, going to C minor, which is that bar chord. So you pluck that, so you pluck A, G, and B string, then make an upstroke with your index finger on the top 4, followed by a slap, like this, 3, 4. Then you play A string short. Then you pluck A, B, and G. A, B, and E. Also short, and then you play A, G, and B, like this, followed by a slap. So that C minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go to that G chord again. You play the following thing. You start off plucking E, G, and B string, followed by that upstroke, slap. Then you play E string. Then you pluck E, B, and high E. Then you pluck E, G, and B string. Then you play second position of the low E with your thumb. And then you fret that E minor 7 chord. So that G chord goes like this, 3, 4. And you play low E, a B string and high E, slap, then you play A, B, E, slap, then D, B, E, slap, back to A, B, E, and a slap, like this. So starting on that G chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you play A minor 7, just with your thumb, push down starting on the 5th string. And then D7, do the same starting on the D string. And then we're moving on to the chorus. So let's do the verse ending together, starting on that E minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the verse ending.